Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you had a good weekend, and welcome to this new video right here on Bitcoin. We're going to do a full update here. So we've had some. I mean, this is the 12-hour time frame, so it doesn't really look like it. But this morning we had some very interesting price action, as you can see right here on the 4-hour time frame. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some fundamentals. We have some major news coming up this week on Thursday. So that is something I'll keep you updated on throughout the week. But that's not something to necessarily focus on too much at this point of time. And yeah, let's just get right into it. I mean, the price action, like I said, this morning has been quite good. We got some good fundamental data regarding de-escalation between the US and Canada and a potential trade deal between the two of them. So if you take a look at the S&P 500 pre-market, that's still rallying up higher. So this is, first of all, like this is great to see, right? Just in general, financial markets going higher, I think it's good for all of us that have stock portfolios. But that's also ultimately good for Bitcoin. Now, when we talk about Bitcoin here, though, I mean, what I told you throughout the weekend is that, all right, well, we're waiting for a breakout, right? So either a breakout above 108,000 or below 106.5. And what I said over the course of the weekend is that, you know, with this tension between the US and Canada, and also some deadlines coming up regarding trade deals, not only between the US and the EU, which is at this point of time the most important trade deal, I think, because we got the US-China trade deal out of the way for a large part at least, but so a lot of deadlines coming up, and then also this tension between Canada and the US. I thought, all right, well, it's most likely we're going to have a bit of a pullback, but obviously we got good news. So what that caused, and that's what you can see right here, is that the price of Bitcoin try to auction higher, try to break out. You can see that the open for Bitcoin right here was higher than the general, the composite value area of Bitcoin in the 5 days before. So it tried to break out. It also did that with some imbalances. You can see those right here. Now we also left a single print, by the way, a little bit higher. So that's a reason to go up. But we tried to break out. So right now, and this is very short term, right? I mean, ultimately on the higher time frames, I think we're still waiting for a real breakout. I don't count these two moves as real breakouts yet until I have real confirmation. I count these moves more as something like this, right? It's Monday the 16th of June. We also tried to break out, but there we failed to hold. And at this point of time, we've also failed to hold so far. So when we really zoom in, the most important level, in my opinion, is a combination of the value area high of yesterday and well, basically also the point of control yesterday, right? So this is the general area. This needs to hold as support, right? We've seen this morning that Bitcoin wants to auction higher. It wants to break out. So now the major question is all right, well, how good of a job is it doing at breaking out, right? And if this were to be a real breakout, it would be able to hold this level, right? And it wouldn't only be able to hold this level, but it would also relatively soon today be able to break back above the value area high of yesterday around 108,000, right? So if we see that, then I think we can really rally higher. I think the fundamentals are in favor of this. The fundamentals in the general world, but also the general financial markets at this point of time, are good enough to expect something like this. Now we just need to see a technical confirmation. But because of those fundamentals, and because of me being in a small intraday long on Bitcoin, just full disclosure, I think it's a little bit more likely that this is a real breakout, right? I mean, breakouts usually happen when traders or investors see a shift in something and think, all right, well, we created value right here, we created value. Something happened. I think we should auction higher. Something happened in terms of de-escalation between the US and Canada, but also the S&P grinding higher. So that's why it traded higher. Now, we do need to see confirmation technically, but I do think it's most likely that we'll do something like this. As opposed to doing something like this, right? So that we are unable to break above 108, which would basically mean that we will just get back into the value area of next week, and that we'll see that same boring price action. So yeah, those are the two scenarios. Like I said, I think it's most likely that we will reclaim 108,000 and that we will rally up higher. So that's my prediction, but I'll keep you updated on that. I'll be back with the middle of the day market update later today. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a great week, and bye.